All right, here we go. It's a very hot new moon in July. It's in Cancer, but it's moving into Leo, so it's a very steamy mess if you haven't already noticed. It's wiping a lot of people out, just taking them right out. Just bam, done. And not sure that that's going to change too much. I think it's going to be like that for a little bit. We're going to look at the cards anyway. We're going to see what's coming. It's coming for us in July. We need to be working on and concerned about. Oh, Empress. All right, she's starting us off here. And the page, mother and child. You know what I've seen a lot of people want to do? I see that they want to be alone, nurturing their core, being kind of protective around their own shell, taking care of their own and keeping it simple otherwise. So that's how we're starting with the Divine Empress, nurturing, motherhood, divine feminine, creativity. Can be projects. Doesn't mean you're necessarily birthing children, but it could mean that you're birthing new projects and ideas. And if this is what's being crossed with us with the wands, this is the Page of Wands, we could be looking at ourselves in new ways as well. Could definitely, yeah, we wanting to stretch a little bit. We've got the Devil card. It's been coming up in a lot of my readings lately too. And of course, we have to, well, devil, God, war, spiritual, war, all of that, boundaries, addictions, excesses. This is underneath us. So there could be some real issues with boundaries and trying to keep our energy more contained and less drained. Like we don't want people around that are going to drain our energies. It's quite a interesting juxtaposition between the Empress and the Devil card, because if you're not taking care of yourself, so I felt like we all kind of wanted to step back and create a little protective sheath around our worlds. If we had felt like doing that, it's possible that we were feeling this energy and thought we need to protect ourselves. Maybe we're not wrong. And oh my heavens, it is hot in here, isn't it? My whew, heavens. Here's the thing too about the combination of cards, because we have the Empress, who is also extremely empathic, works from her sacral, feels things, gut instincts, all of it. You could be a masculine and be really in your feminine and be able to feel that too as well. And we would be able to see things coming. We may be able to feel them before they come as well. A lot of us will feel anxieties, preceding events, or things that are changing energetically around us. So we'll live with this undersettled undercurrent, and we'll be hyper aware. So, and then here comes the devil into our space. It could be that you're so sensitive right now, you're seeing through every single person's dynamic, all their agendas, all their secret alliances, all the ways that they self-sabotage them, which self-sabotages you, and or self-sabotages you directly, and all the rest of it. So you could be really dealing with some unusual family dynamics right now too, where you have to be strong in yourself and your sense of self, and you have to remember who is the spiritual leader of the family, who is the one reaching for the next level of their own growth willingly and on time. The Divine Empress is. That's what's going on. So I guess our perspectives are going to have to shift a lot, and they'll be, and we could be picking apart little details about ourselves, being really overcritical and letting our inner annihilator take hold and things like that, especially if the devil energy is not far behind us, because that could be a lot of temptations and a lot of tests. So the darkness in the world could be trying to tempt you out of your own sense of self, and spirit could be testing you to make sure you don't. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. That's what the new moon's telling me about itself. Should we keep going? Should we pull some more cards? I think so. I think let's see who else is coming to play this month during our new moon cycle in July, the hot summer cycle. Good Lord. Okay. Unburdening. Now, well, I don't know. This is how I look at it. I mean, I took the visual and I ran with it, basically. Yeah, it is a 10 though, and it is senses of completion. Funny how new moons create completions and full moons can hint to new beginnings. And here we are in this cycle rounding itself out. Hopefully, yeah, so you would have, if there were boundaries that you need to make, and you've been trying to make them, and you know in your heart of hearts, because you are a divine being and you are closely connected to yourself and you understand what your truth really is, then this is a no-brainer. You could be offloading an addiction. You could be offloading toxic people. You could be offloading jobs that don't feel right to you anymore and looking for alternatives. If you can't get out of there right away, you could be laying the ground for yourself, planting the seeds. We do have eclipse energy that we're heading into. I know that this has been something that Spirit's been warning me about as a mass awakening event during the Leo cycle in August. So whatever's going on, we're heading right into it right now. Oh, and I know that there is, I don't know, I heard about some really rare basket of planets. I can't remember any of it. I don't really retain that kind of information, but I can feel the energy around me and somebody wanting to talk about it, especially since this card came up. So, how do they want to talk about this? So, in some ways, I'm getting this image of like literally a basket, and it's turning into a chakra, and then it's turning into a vortex, and then it's like changing all these things. And then I'm seeing the sense that there are things that are pocketed away in us in little places, silently waiting for liberation, or silently waiting to take us down on the wrong day, at the wrong time, with the wrong mood, in the wrong energies, in the wrong company, on the wrong, anyway, on the wrong premise. So yeah, I do feel like a little bit of danger around some of the energies this cycle, just because they are so hot-headed. I can feel a lot of hot-headed energy. So if you're healing something very deeply, or if you're going into any kind of a healing this cycle, I'm going to say that it probably has to do with something that's been old and lingering for a while anyway, that on some level you knew you had to get rid of, or you knew you had to deal with, or something along that line. And now it's asking for you to let go. And it makes sense too, because this is still a little bit of pre-eclipse energies anyway. So, and I know that Spirit sometimes likes us just to offload before these new cycles hit, so that we're in a higher frequencies of energies. The more lower frequency density energies are off our system, however we got rid of them. And that's what I'm feeling with all of this. So it almost feels like the kind of energy that I feel sometimes when Chiron's around. And you got to do all that wounded healer stuff. So you could be getting clear on what burdens are you willing to carry, why, how far are you willing to go with it, at what expense to yourself, and everything like that could be turning over in your mind over and over again. So it makes sense, I guess, because what I'm hearing and seeing and some of this other stuff around this card is that, yeah, some of the choices we've made are going to be, it's going to be more obvious if the choices we're making are actually helping us or hurting us. It's kind of how I'm hearing it. don't know what really to make of that exactly. Well, it's kind of cool that the card right after our Ten of Wands, which is saying, hey, maybe you're carrying things that aren't yours, and maybe it's not making you happy, and maybe the misery is enough already, and let's use the end of this cycle as an opportunity before we go into all the other new things, and let's clear up the debris so that we're clear about whatever journey we're on and whatever responsibilities we're willing to live with. That's what this feels like to me. And then over our head, which is always an interesting placement in the tarot, over the head, kind of in, sites that maybe, it's going to hit you in the head. Some bright idea is going to be right there for you. But this is not so much ideas as it is the sentiments of what you need for yourself and what you're willing to hold in reserve for yourself, what cups you're willing to fill up. Because the 10 would have taught you. And anyway, you know what? The devil would have taught you. If you weren't in alignment with yourself or in good alliance to yourself, you could really have been taken advantage of, and you could be licking your wounds over that and trying to heal emotionally from that recovery. And here's this ray of light with the cups here, the 9, almost like a little reset, not quite a rebirth, but a little bit of a reset, saying, all right, you've got some choice here now. You were willing to make some tough decisions about where to draw the line, how to show up for yourself how to show up for everybody else without abandoning yourself in the process and things like that. Yeah. So if the 9 of Cups is coming up, I'm curious what's going to come up next. And what are we here? We got 2. We got 5 cards so far of our 10 card spread. You hanging in there, Piglet? Are you hanging in? We're going to get there. Our card 6, Leo, sun. What am I telling you about? Solar. Jeez. Solar eclipse coming fast. Hot and fast. And right before it, a hot, steamy mess. All kinds of things that you didn't expect. That's the other thing. I will say that I've been seeing this even firsthand in some of my clients, a lot of unburdening they didn't expect to do. People leaving the planet they thought were going to be here for a long time. Situations just moving right out. Boyfriends moving out when they're away. Like unbelievable amounts of just drop and run kind of energy. So if you are one of the ones that somebody has dropped and run on, then hold on and just look at how best to take care of yourself, even if it hurts. Figure out how to get your best emotional self-care on track as soon as possible. Get the highest amounts of support that you have around you activated around you, so that you're not moping at home, crying tears blue all day long. You're out there actually refilling the cups that were depleted, because on some level they had to have been depleting you if they had to drop and run. Because eventually spirit's not into that, especially during these giant growth experiences and opportunities with eclipses that come in and give us enough, way more to work with than we usually have, and then also activate the things that have been lying in wait for us to work with all along, eons of time at our disposal without hardly even knowing it. So I would say if you feel like sleeping all the time, it's working. That's kind of how it feels right now. Keep it simple, eliminate the things that are complicated, either put them on hold or say goodbye to them. And actually, you could drop those and run too. Oh, goodness. Okay, the other thing that's coming through here. Okay, well, anyway, let me just say this. The sun can be a spiritual awakening. Yes, it can be your personality. If you don't want to involve the spiritual body, you can just talk about how this could be bringing out more of your true nature, more of your heart-centered abilities, and efforts and things like that. You may be more recognizable. You may have some interesting breakthroughs, but if you want to apply the spirituality to it, since that's kind of what we're doing here, we did come in as the Empress in the collective, which means we're already tuned in. We're already tuned in our sacral chakras. We're empowered through our divine power center, our solar plexus, and our third eye is getting hit full tilt, and so is our crown chakra, primed and waiting, ready to go. That's what I'm seeing. So for those of you who have been on the path, so to speak, digging in, rearranging your emotional body because the realities changed around you and you had to do a pivot and a rise and shine no matter what, you could be feeling a lot of relief in these coming weeks ahead somehow as well, almost like you can see the breakthrough. You're not as insecure about what's happening next. And it could be because you yourself have had a giant aha moment because of either who abandoned you and did their drop and run, or whoever you needed to clear the boundaries with. Yeah, because you can't be, how are they putting this? We can't be self-deflating. Yeah, no more. More like whoop, blowing it up in all directions. Okay, so I'm not sure when this card appeared. I have no idea. It wasn't really one that I remember picking. I'm gonna have to watch the video back to see how this appeared, but I guess I'll put it into the reading. Um, oh, look, more pages. So you know what? I feel like a lot of us are growing up in ways. Mm, ooh, geez, you know what I heard someone just say? But some of us are growing up in immature ways. Ooh. So if you're not the one that's growing up in immature ways, then you're probably being subjected to somebody like that right now. And in that case, wow, I don't know. Sometimes pages can speak about a new way of doing something that you've had to be doing, a new start of sorts, but it can kind of speak to vulnerability and naivety and things like that. And let's not forget, we do have the devil in here who, used in the wrong way. Used in the wrong way, the devil does like to mess around, with the naive, do you know? Yeah, I'm just feeling a lot of naivety here. And if this 10 of swords is coming in, that's two tens, the 10 that's basically telling us to drop and run anything that doesn't feed our hearts, feed our soul, fill our cups, that we feel in bondage to. However, I want to approach this. I totally forgot because we did have the Empress as the collective. For those of you who are incredible empaths, extreme empaths, hello, you can feel me probably before I said this, that I was going to say this. The Ten of Wands is also a highly sensitive card too, ultra sensitive. So if we're coming in with the attributes of this, with the sensitivity and the tuned in frequency that brings with it. Wow, it's true. So who knows? Some of you may be helping people heal from things. Again, I'm coming back to that. Could be giving ultimatums to people who are living with you, who are, practicing in some way, and you're like, enough's enough. You want to go do that? Get out of here. You can't be here. Things like that. There could be those kinds of scenarios going up around. And anyway, if you are in the caregiving professions, then yeah, anyway, anybody with even a half a little blip of psychic abilities is going to be way more sensitive to everything. So you could be having unusual breakthroughs, like that you wouldn't expect or never even dream of, but suddenly, somebody's grandfather from who knows when is coming to visit you to give a message to the granddaughter, and you're like, what? Who are you? What? When? Yeah, I know her. You could be doing all kinds of weird things like that. Um, Maybe it's not weird. Maybe you're going to be doing commonplace things like that, because those situations do happen a lot. Yeah, so there we go. But anyway, with the 10, so we've got a 10 that's unburdening and the 10 that's could be over. So you could, oh wow, that is true too. Tens of overwhelm. Because if you're not feeling, let's put it this way, if the devil's getting the best of you, the attributes of the devil, where people are taking advantage of you, you're still getting kind of sucked into codependent things where you're not standing up for yourself, you're not speaking your truth, you're not taking care of your own emotional needs, then yeah, the sensitivities could be off the chart because your own spirit guides or the allies or the ancestors that you would normally tune into, or even just the normal universal flow of support that may be around you all day long, you may just not be feeling it. You may be rejecting it because you're too caught up in the fears that have activated, because if you've got an active mind, yeah, you could be driving yourself cray right now. So I would say let's fill the cups, fill the depleted cups, fill them full. And yeah, I keep hearing keep it simple anyway. Keep it simple. That kiss approach, keep it simple, stupid. If it's not absolutely necessary right now, maybe just, go with the flow a little bit and allow yourself to sort of purge through, soften some of the emotional stuff that may be trying to process out of you anyway, because I still feel like it's still a lot of emotion, and there could be a lot of irritability flying around in the people around you that aren't in flow with themselves, because if you're in flow with yourself, if let's put this is how I'm seeing it happen. If you're in flow with the universal energies that are here to really help us open up to the next level and assimilate all the light codes and all the fun stuff that we can like goobly gobbly soak up, then you're going to have an easier time during this eclipse anyway, because you're just more fluid rolling with the energies. It's like you understand your array of your own light, and you're handling it. You're just lighting up. Hmm. Yeah, so if you feel like you need to stay home and go nowhere and call no one, I would honor that, because all the other energies that haven't been worked out and all the energies that people have lingered with for a long time that are demanding to be cleared, you don't really want to be in somebody's, way of doing that. If you can not witness it, it may be better not to be around people that you don't really jive with right now, or limit time with them, or limit exposure to them, or limit activities with them, or things like that. Or if you have to do that, go independently, or give yourself a little bit of an escape route or a backup plan, or things like that, because I do feel a lot of irritable energy. I almost feel like a lot of the souls that have been kind of whining about having to grow, and no, I want to hold on to the boyfriend that left me. I just want to hold on no matter what. And you're holding up your life force, and you're stopping other fantastic people from coming in, and you're ruining your choices for a bunch of other things you don't even know about, because the choices are never going to find you, and things like that. So you have to be very, 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 very careful right now. Are your energies moving backwards, or are they moving forward? If somebody's left you, if something's ended, try best to honor the ending in a way that keeps the possibilities open for yourself, so that the universe, hopefully in time, in a way that you least suspect and will thrill you, it's going to start filling in some things that are better for you, that are more aligned with your own heart and your core sense of creative energies, the creative energies that want to build your world. So I would say handle all depletions, whether they're nutritionally, mentally, maybe you need more people to talk to that speak your language or understand where you come from. You could be doing, yeah, more for your physical body as well. Yeah, it's like a very nurturing mama yourself, basically. Mother yourself. Hmm. But you know what? I mean, so many of us would just reach out and, help anybody that needs help as well. So there could be a lot of these little relationships where you're just extending yourself because it feels spiritually like the right thing to do too. I am feeling a little bit of that in some of this as they're painting the pictures to me. So you could be through some of this spiritual awakening energy and upgrades through the coming solar eclipse as we're preparing for that. There could be spiritual relationships that are slated for you as well that you're preparing for on one way or another. And that's also why you may just need a little bit more of a cloistered reality where you're not really dealing with too many people or getting too complicated with anything right now. And geez, I always forget like how many cards I pulled. All right, so let's revisit them for 1 second. So we had Emperor and the children. So let's Empress, I should say. The Empress and the children. Okay, so what happens in a lot of relationships where, you know, somebody doesn't want to grow up, they're not doing their stuff, and you still want to get ahead. So you're like, it's okay, I'll mother you, we'll get it all done together. Yeah, so I don't know if that's going to go well or not, honestly. Hmm. Yeah, I guess I would say, yeah, if you're meant to have those relationships during this period, it's going to become obvious if there really are people that you need to sort of help do their work. It's quite possible. It's quite possible. I mean, the devil's here, and sometimes that's servitude. So, you could be suffering from somebody else's addiction or restrictions or limitations and trying to free the oppression around everyone as well. Going, well, maybe I have to take action. And that could be the light bulb action, the light bulb moment where you're going, oh no, I've seen the light. Now I have to do something about it. Yeah, because it does kind of feel relationship centric in some ways. Maybe that's part of the cancer that's happening, although there's so much Leo fire that comes in with this. Wow. But anyway, you know what? I mean, one day of really intense cancer energy can freak us all out emotionally that it takes weeks to get over anyway. So I feel like even the short little bit of the cancer part of this new moon is actually going to hit us pretty darn hard, especially if we're, well, mm, yeah. Anyway, I heard something like, oh, especially if we're not in the flow. So maybe this is one of those cycles where, like, if spirit's been working with you to listen to your intuition better and they're giving you better messaging and you're figuring it out and you're making some progress and then you overlook something and you don't follow your intuition and suddenly something doesn't go well or there's a backlash somehow, like that could be spirit just telling you so. Hmm. I don't know what that last card was. I bundled up all the cards before I hit my number 10. So I'm gonna pull one more card. This got so into talking about it. Yeah. So basically, I think the spiritual family is building. If the bio family isn't working, it's going through a major overhaul of some kind, or the boundaries are getting drawn in such a way that you just don't have to deal for now. And you can just, put some ice on the hot-headed people. Put some ice on the hot-headed people. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to pull one card anyway, and let's just see. Okay, so Psychic Eye, in the way I call this card. It's a 9 as well, so we had a couple 10s, we had a couple 9s. Interesting. And both the 10s could be very troublesome cards if not approached in the right way, right? Because if you're trying to hold on to something that universe wants you to let go of, or somebody in your life wants you to let go of, then who you helping? The 9s, we had the 9 of Cups, trying to fill and pick our loves and our passions and things like that. And the 9 of Swords, which is just an abundance of visionary abilities one way or another, whether that's through the feeling nature, like the Empress brought in through the sacral chakra, or through the third eye, which the sun kind of hinted at. It's happening. So I would say trust that you're connected more than you believe and approach it that way. So when you're about to go make a decision or go do something, you may want to ask yourself or just say to yourself, even though I don't know what the heck I'm doing, even my most casual guess is so in alignment with every part of everything I need to be doing that I'm going to trust the choice. I'm going to trust the feeling, and I'm going to make the choice. I'd rather see you with this energy. Trust your own instincts, your own opinion, your own whatever during this little bit of the new moon cycle. So rather than debating with people who think they've got a better idea of who you are and what you need, I would say, unless they really do and you already know that, and then I would just listen to them. But otherwise, if you're out there managing your own world, I would trust that you're getting good information, and I would also say continue working with it to the best of your ability, because some of your prayers could be answered in a way through who knows what kind of invisibles just popping up around your field trying to get you to the next step. And it could be unusual and not feel totally normal, but it could still be really helpful and create a lot of ease somehow. It's kind of what it looks like. So almost like if you're willing to give yourself the benefit of the doubt a little bit and take some good kind of calculated, heart-centered risk, then you'll probably be fine. That's what I'm seeing for the new moon. Yep. And I would say, just like Piglet, you need the rest. You need the rest. Don't fight the human body right now. There's a lot going on. And if you're getting hit with some of these energies, like I feel like just this overwhelmed bombardment of like, what? Your tolerance may be very low. You may, your mouth may just pop open and just say things without hardly any ability to stop it, which is maybe why they're saying, if you feel like you need to stay at home, that could be really healthy for you right now. And leave the complicated conversations for another time, unless you're in a really safe circle with, yeah, with safe people. Anyway, I will see you another time soon. Have a great everything. Keep cool in all those hot places. Don't get too overly involved. It's too much. And sometimes, you know what I find? I find that spirit creates these external energy waves that hit us anyway, whether that's like this overload of light or just like whoop, 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 whoop from all the other planets. It will hit us in a way that makes us just pass out in the couch, or I mean lots of in the couch kind of stuff. and oh, I don't want to start my morning quite as early, or can't sleep at night, so I got to sleep during the day, and now my whole rhythm is off. So it's quite possible that that's kind of the point, that the rhythm is off because there's a new rhythm in town that you're going to flow better with, and all the rest of it. So don't be surprised if you find yourself, I guess, maybe wanting to do things that you wouldn't normally want to do, but suddenly you're like, yeah, that makes sense to me. I'm going to try it. Or, yeah, stuff like that. So keep it simple, keep it cool, and keep it real. And Piglet and I, hi, buddy. Do you want to say good night? What's that? Is that a goodbye? Is that a goodbye? Is that a goodbye? No, that's a, see, don't bug me. Just let me sleep. This is what it's like out there right now. And like in there too, people. Okay, I love you. Thanks for coming in. See you soon, hopefully. You good, Piglet? You want to go do something? All right, be safe out there. Bye for now. See you next time. And let me know in the comments, like, how are you handling the heat? How are you handling the heat? And by that I mean the spiritual heat. By that I mean the life force. By that I mean the solar codes and all the other stuff. Like, how are you handling it? Just let me know if I can do anything. I'll be happy to help. All right. Bye for now.